For months, the lawsuit brought by Prince Harry, Sir Elton John, Baroness Doreen Lawrence and other public figures against Associated Newspapers Limited has been presented as the final reckoning, a crusade against tabloid lawlessness. It promised to expose years of covert surveillance, phone hacking and intrusion into private lives by the publisher of the Daily Mail and the Mail on Sunday. But this week, the foundations of that case looked as if they were beginning to collapse. The man once considered the key witness, the private investigator Gavin Burrows, has detonated a legal bomb beneath the claimant's feet. Burrows now insists that the 2021 witness statement that triggered the lawsuit was not his. He says the language in it was alien, the admissions fabricated and the signature forged, completely false, he told the court. Complete rubbish, a complete fantasy. In that disputed document, Burrows was said to have confessed to targeting hundreds, possibly thousands of people, intercepting voicemails, tapping landlines, bugging cars for male journalists. His apparent confession had given Harry's legal team the ammunition they needed to sue Associated Newspapers. 5 of the 7 claimants explicitly said they acted on the basis of his evidence. Now, Burrows says he never worked illegally for the Mail. He admits to one legitimate assignment concerning Sir Richard Branson, but nothing more. The new statement, filed in September 2025, sets out a murky and almost cinematic story of manipulation. Burrows claims he was hounded by Graham Johnson, a journalist once convicted of phone hacking, who promised him work and cash for statements that could damage the Mail. Johnson, he alleges, brought him to meetings with a paralegal named Dan Waddle, who paid £600 per consultation and dangled offers of £3,000 to write up an incriminating statement. Burrows says it was all framed as a perfect scam, a way to pressure newspapers into paying out large settlements rather than risk public scandal. According to Burrows, the network widened. Solicitor Anjali Sangani, representing several of the claimants, allegedly arrived at his home with flowers and a £200 bottle of whiskey, promising him £5,000 a month for minimal work. He recounts a meeting in a London square with Sangani, Johnson and barrister David Sherburn, Prince Harry's star advocate, discussing surveillance methods and fees. Burrows now claims he was effectively manipulated into lending credibility to a crusade built on fabricated evidence. I felt sorry, he says, for Lady Lawrence, because she was duped into pursuing a claim on the basis of false information. This reversal has thrown his entire case, or the entire case, into disarray. Sherburn and his team have chosen not to call Burrows as a live witness, preferring instead to rely on hearsay, fragments of his earlier statements that suit their case. Associated Newspapers counsel Anthony White, KC, is seeking to cross-examine Burrows directly, describing his recantation as crucial to testing the integrity of the claims. Mr. Justice Matthew Nicklin has given the claimants a week to decide whether they wish to summon Burrows, warning that if his testimony contradicts their case, they may have to treat him as a hostile witness. The implications are immense. What began as a landmark confrontation over media ethics now risks becoming a public embarrassment, a spectacle of legal mishaps, legal missteps, manipulated witnesses, and ideological vendettas. For Prince Harry, already cast as the vanguard of privacy reform, this could become his most damaging legal defeat yet. If Burrows' claims of forgery and fabrication hold water, the narrative will flip entirely. Not Associated Newspapers exposed for criminality, but sections of the anti-press establishment revealed as unscrupulous in their pursuit of vengeance against Fleet Street. The trial, set for January 2026, was already one of the most expensive in British media history, expected to cost £38 million and last 9 weeks. But before it even begins, its credibility now hangs by a thread. Whether this story ends in vindication or humiliation, one thing is clear: the Harry phone hacking case, once framed as a moral crusade, has become a scandal in its own right.